Hi, my name is Mary Joyce Apcampomanes from BSEd English 1A. So, what is climate change? Climate change is a change in statistical distribution of weather patterns. When that change lasts for an extended period of time, decades to millions of years. Climate change may refer to change in average weather conditions or in the time variation of weather around longer-term average conditions. Climate change is caused by factors such as abiotic processes, variations in solar radiation received by Earth, plate tectonics, and volcanic eruptions. Certain human activities have also been identified as significant causes of recent climate change, often referred to as global warming. Climate change is the bad news story that isn't going away. From heat waves to hurricanes, from droughts to floods, extreme weather events are becoming more frequent, putting lives at risk. Human activity is causing our climate to change. The carbon dioxide emissions from our cars, our industries, and our power plants are heating up the planet. To stop the planet getting warmer, we need to reduce the use of fossil fuels and increase the share of renewable energy like wind and low carbon sources. Climate action is everyone's responsibility.
What are the medication and practices that we done? Most of the recent changes in our climate have been brought about by human activity. These changes will have significant consequences for our health, well-being, and safety. Effects of climate change include increasing air and sea temperatures, changes in rainfall patterns, more frequent and increasingly severe extreme weather events, and sea level rise. Climate change may affect our health and well-being through the impacts of extreme events. Worsening air quality, changes in the spread of infectious disease, threats to food and water quality and quantity, and effects on our mental health. There are things we can all do now to build our resilience to the effects of climate change and help slow its pace. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Angeline Nardo, and the question is, what are the medication and practices that we done in climate change? Of course, by limiting the use of fossil fuels such as oil, carbon, and natural gases, and replacing them with renewable and cleaner sources of energy, all while increasing energy efficiency. And also, responding to climate change involves two possible approaches. First is reducing, and second is stabilizing the levels of the heat trapping greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, called mitigation, and or adapting to climate change already in the pipeline. It's called adaptation.
What is climate change? Climate change is the change of weather that can last for an extended period of time or may be permanent. Climate change is the result of global warming. There are causes of global warming. Number one, oil and gas. It is used the most in vehicles, buildings, production, and to produce electricity. When we burn coal, oil, and gases, it largely adds to the climate change. Number two, deforestation. Deforestation is the clearance of woodland and forest. This is either done for the wood or to create space for the farms or ranches. Trees and forests turn carbon dioxide into oxygen, so when they are cleared, like the stored carbon is then released into the environment. 3. Waste. Humans create more waste now than ever before because of the amount of packaging used and the short life cycle of products. Number 4. Power plants. Power plants burn fossil fuels to operate. Due to this, they produce a variety of different pollutants. Number 5, oil drilling. Oil drilling is responsible for 30% of the methane population and around 8% carbon dioxide pollution.
Good day, everyone. My name is Rexdom J. Laude Nazareno, and I am from Bisad English 1A. So, my topics are what are the issues and what are the effects of climate change. So, let's proceed on what are the issues. So, climate change is the defining issues of our time, and we are at a defining moment. From shifting weather patterns that threaten food production to rising sea levels that increase the risk of catastrophic flooding, the impacts of climate change are global in scope and unprecedented in scale. So, without drastic action today, actually, we are adapting to these impacts in the future, and it will be more difficult and costly. So let me give you an example for the farmers. So less production due to water limitation. Fishermen, less production due to heat waves or rising sea levels, right? So let's proceed on the second topic, which is the what are the effects of climate change. So more frequent and intense drought, storms, heat waves, rising sea levels, melting glaciers, and warming oceans can directly harm animals, right? So destroy the places they live and wreak havoc on people's livelihoods and communities. But we can do something more to lessen these issues. First is we can follow the 3 R's. The first one is the reduce, reuse, and the third one is recycle. So what more? Plant more trees and avoid any unnecessary things that cause global warming. Right? So thank you so much, guys.